Hi there, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn another probability distribution among the family of discrete probability distribution, guys. And that one is negative binomial distribution. Agenda will remain the same. We will start with the definition of negative binomial distribution or negative binomial random variable. Then we will understand how it is different from the binomial, or you can say why we call it as negative binomial distribution, right? Then we will try to understand the definition of negative binomial distribution using a lot of different real world examples, right? Then we'll move to the probability mass function or CDF, cumulative distribution function of negative binomial random variable, right? At the end, we will solve a problem related to the negative binomial distribution or negative binomial random variable, which will clear all your concepts related to this particular example, guys. And if you will watch this video till the end, I'm pretty sure, guys, you will never forget negative binomial distribution. Okay, so let's get started. Negative binomial distribution, as we already know, guys, this is actually a type of discrete probability distribution, right? And in this, we actually model the number of trials we need to get our successes, right? So these are the two important parts. Number of trials, that's what we are modeling, and number of trials to get our successes, fixed number of successes, right? So in negative binomial distribution, there are fixed number of successes, right? So now your negative binomial random variable models number of trials you need to get our successes, right? So here your successes number is fixed and you are modeling number of trials. Now, if you recall from our last video related to the binomial distribution, there binomial random variable, or again if I write from X, it was modeling the number of successes, right, among our n number of trials, right? So now you can clearly see in case of negative binomial distribution, if I write it clearly, so in case of negative binomial distribution and we have binomial distribution, here in negative binomial distribution, what is fixed? Successes, number of successes are fixed, right? And in case of binomial distribution, number of trials are fixed, right? So here in case of NBD, negative binomial distribution, number of successes are fixed. In case of binomial distribution, number of trials are fixed. And in case of negative binomial distribution, what is the model, right? Or your random variable defined as? It defined as the number of trials, right? And you can say number of Bernoulli trials. We already know the concept of Bernoulli trial from our last video, binomial distribution. I'll come again to give you those three conditions based on which we say whether our trial is a Bernoulli trial or not. I'll come to that. Now, in case of, as I said, negative binomial distribution, number of trials, that's what we model using our random variable. And in case of binomial distribution, we actually trial number of successes, or we model number of successes, right? So that's the difference from these two examples. I hope this is clear why we call it as negative binomial, because this is the exact opposite to the binomial distribution or binomial random variable, right? So I hope this is clear. Now let's try to understand this definition using different real world examples. Negative binomial distribution is very useful for people who are working in the field of marketing or sales. How? Let's understand. So let's say you are working as a salesperson and you have some targets, your monthly targets or weekly targets, right? So let's say you are working for a company who actually create online courses and sell them, right? Now you are working as a salesperson and you have target of 100 customers to get in a month, right? Now in that particular case, the way you are approaching to different customers is the mail, right? Let's say. So now how many mails you have to send to get your first 100 customers, because that's your target, right? So how many mails? That number can be 100, 200, 500, 1000, 5000, 10,000, that depends, but that will be always greater than equal to 100, right? So now here what we are modeling, how many mails you have to send to get your first 100 customers. So here R is your 100, right? So here success, you can see every time you are sending a mail, that's a trial, and there are two possible outcomes, success and failure. Success means customer has enrolled in the course. Failure, customer did not enroll, right? So now there are two possible outcomes, and every mail you are sending, there is a probability assigned to the success, right? So these are the two conditions for every trial to be classified as Bernoulli trial. One thing is, first one is two possible outcomes, right? Either success or failure. And the second is the probability of success remains same throughout all the trials, right? Or we can say trials are independent. Okay, so these are the two conditions for the trial to become Bernoulli trial, right? So I hope this example is pretty clear, and this is the most most popular application of your negative binomial distribution, right? Now let's see few other examples. Number of people one has to approach to get what from 5 people. Let's say you want to conduct a survey about a particular technology, or let's say about a drug, or about anything related to politics. You want to conduct a survey, maybe like before elections. Now you want to get at least 5 people opinion or vote, right? So for that, how many people you have to approach? Because not everyone will give you the response. So now in this particular case, number of people you have to approach to get 5 people opinion. So here success, number of success are 5, right? And in every trial means you are approaching person. That is a trial. Whether he will vote or not, give opinion or not, that's the possible outcomes, right? Next example, attempting multiple choice questions, third right answer in the 5th problem. So there are 5 problems, let's say, and in the 5th problem when you are solving, you will get your third answer right, right? So every question is your trial, possible outcomes, correct or incorrect, right? Number of successes, as I mentioned, 3, and then out of how many trials, right? So here we are trying to find the probability in 5 trials, right? Next example, number of times die has to be rolled before getting 6 times 6. You want to get 6, that is your success, right? And you want to get 6 times 6. How many times you have to roll your die, right? So that's another example of negative binomial distribution. Next example, selecting the 5th woman as the 15th participant. Let's say again for the survey, or you are conducting some kind of competition, there you want the participations, right? In that case, you need to get 5 women, right? So now again, how many participants you have to approach to get enrollment from them? Number of companies to be applied before getting 3 offers in hand. This is amazing example, guys. You can easily relate with the negative binomial random variable. So not every time you are applying, you get the job, right? So your trial is you are applying for the job. Success, you get hired or you get the offer. Failure is you did not get the offer, right? So how many jobs you have to apply before getting 3 offers in hand? R over here is 3, right? I hope these examples make your understanding about the negative binomial distribution or negative binomial random variable pretty clear, guys, right? Okay. So now Bernoulli trial, as I already mentioned, there are 2 conditions for this, for every trial to consider as the Bernoulli trial. First condition is there should be only 2 possible outcomes, right? Success and failure. Second is probability of success should remain constant throughout all the trials. And that's what that was happening in all these examples we discussed, right? We call them as Bernoulli trial. Okay. I hope this definition is clear. Now let's move to the probability mass function and the CDF of negative binomial distribution. Okay, so in a series of Bernoulli trials, independent trials with constant probability of success, that's the definition of your Bernoulli trial, the random variable X that equals the number of trials we need until we get R successes. We consider it as the negative binomial random variable. It has below these many parameters, right? In case of binomial, we discussed there are 3 parameters, right? In binomial case, we had number of trials, that was 1 parameter, then probability of success, and the third one was probability of failure, which is nothing but minus P. Here we have again 3 parameters, right? You have probability of success P, probability of failure Q. Then we have number of trials before getting the Rth success. So here R is number of successes. That's another parameter you have, right? And now based on that, we have X, right? X is the number of trials before getting Rth successes. Important point here is you can see the Xth trial will have, this is very important to understand, guys. Focus on this point. Xth trial, let's say 10th trial, should be resulted in your Rth trial, right? So once you get the Rth trial or Rth success, it's not trial, should be success, right? Once you get the Rth success, now you stopped your experiment. For that, you have to calculate the probability, right? So Xth trial will get resulted into Rth success. So your Rth success will get included as the trial in your X. Okay, this is important to understand. Now, if I say X minus R, you can easily interpret that these are the number of failures we actually received in our experiment, right? So X involves number of trials in which we got R successes. And we know Rh success we got in the Xth trial, right? So now X minus R, we can say it's the number of failures we got in that experiment, right? I hope this is clear. Now, for this particular negative binomial random variable, what is the probability mass function, guys? So this is the probability mass function. And now let's understand or create the intuition behind this formula, guys. So like we did it in the binomial distribution, same intuition we will build here. We know every trial is independent from other trials, right? So now in that particular case, we know first part, if you remember from your binomial, it was NCR, right? So now here it's combinatorial part, right? So what we are doing, out of X trials, you have X trials, you are picking here, because we know Xth trial is a success, right? Is your Rth success. We already know that. So in X minus 1 trials, can we say we got R minus 1 successes? We know Xth trial is your Rth success. So now we know in the X minus 1 trials, we received R minus 1 successes. I hope this point is clear, right? Now you have different trials. You have to pick R minus 1 successes out of it. For that, we use combinatorial formula. So that is why X minus 1, C R minus 1. So this you can represent using X minus 1, C R. So this one you can write it as, so this one, X minus 1, C R minus 1, we can write it as X minus 1 factorial divided by X minus 1 minus R minus 1, right? Factorial of this into R minus 1 factorial. This is how we write the combinatorial formula, guys, right? Okay, so first part, I hope you understood. It's just a selection part, guys. We are picking R minus 1 trials in which we got the success, right? Now, out of that, 1 minus P, which is nothing but probability of failure. So how many times we got the failure? X minus R, right? So that is why 1 minus p raised to power x minus r. These are the number of failures, probability of failure, and how many times we got the failure, x minus r, into probability of success, how many successes we got, r, number of successes. So this is the intuition behind the formula, guys. I hope this is clear. Right? Now, let's use this, whatever we have learned so far, using a simple example. And you will be able to relate with this example, guys. Okay? As I said, negative binomial distribution is very popular among marketing people, guys. Right? So we'll take that example only. And you will be able to build your concept around this negative binomial distribution using this example. Let's say there is a Mr. Random guy, right, who works in an insurance company where his target is to sell a minimum of 5 policies in a day, right? So 5 policies, that's the target. On a particular day, he had already sold 2 policies after numerous attempts. Okay, 2 has already been sold. Now, the probability of sales on each policy is 0.6. So what we have here, probability of success is already mentioned, that is 0.6. Now, if the policies may be considered as independent Bernoulli trials, right? So whenever you are approaching to sell your policy, probability of success remains the same. And there are 2 possible outcomes, that whether the policy will be sold or not, right? So every time the person is being sold a policy, that's a trial, right? And we can call them as Bernoulli trials. Now the question is, what is the probability that he has exactly 4 failed attempts before his 3rd successful sales of the day, right? So now what we are saying, x minus r, right? So in the first question, x minus r is nothing but 4 and r is equal to 3. Am I right or wrong, guys? Right? So x minus r means there are 4 failures and we will get before his 3rd successful sale of the day, right? So r is 3. Now you have probability of success, you have number of failures, you have number of successes. You can use your PMF formula. What we need to calculate? Probability of x is equal to 7 actually, right? Number of trials 7, right? In the 7th, 4 plus 3, 7, right? So now you can calculate x minus 1, right? So that is 6, C 2, right? Just remember your formula, x minus 1, C r minus 1 into probability of failure, that is 0.4, raised to power, how many failures we got? We got 4 failure, into probability of success, that is 0.6, raised to power, how many successes? 3. So this is the formula to get your PMF, guys. Now you have calculator, you can calculate it. We can solve this using Excel, guys. Now in case of Excel, what's the formula you have to use? I'll just quickly explain this. So we have neg binom dot distribution, the same kind of formula you had for binomial distribution without neg, right? That we discussed in our last video. So negative binomial dot dist, you have different arguments which need to pass. So your first argument should be number of failures, right? So this is the formula we are using in the Excel, right? Second argument represents number of successes, right? Then you have the third argument, which is probability of success. And finally, the false I have written to calculate the PMF. Okay, so you can use this formula to calculate the probability of getting 4 failure in out of 7 successfully or number of trials, right? Now let's move to the second. So you have the formula, guys, in the Excel, in the backend. This is the formula it will execute. I hope this is clear. Now the next example, what is the probability that he has fewer than 4 failed attempts before his 3rd successful sales of the day? Okay, so less than equal to 4 failures, right? So here it's actually asking probability of x less than equal to 7, and we know it will always greater than 3, right? Fewer than, it's asking actually fewer. So it's not equal to, definitely it's asking for the less than 4 failures we have to get in order to get 3 successful sales. What's the probability of that, right? So we can say probability of x less than 7. Okay, equal to sign will not be there. I hope you understood, because here it said fewer than 4, not exactly 4, I mean including 4, right? So probability of x less than 7. Now for that purpose, what we need to do, we have to calculate different PMFs, and then if you sum, you will get your probability or CDF kind of thing, right? So this is actually CDF, which you can write in the form of this, less than equal to 6. Probability of x less than 7 is equal to probability of x less than equal to 6, and it will be greater than 3. So now you have to calculate probability of x is equal to 3 plus probability of x is equal to 4 plus probability of x is equal to 5 plus probability of x is equal to 6. Use that same formula, guys, and you will be able to calculate the final probability that there will be less than 4 attempts, failure attempts, before we get our 3 or third successful sale, right? I hope this is clear. So x is equal to 3. Why we are starting from 3? Because there are 3 successes, at least 3 successful sales we have to make. Here in this particular case, number of x minus r is actually 0, right? So x minus r is actually 0. Failure 0. Now in that particular case, x is equal to r, which is 3. We know r is 3. So x will be 3, right? So this is the number of trial. In the second case, we have x minus r is equal to 1. We know r is equal to 3. So number of trial will be 4. And like that, we are actually calculating. Now, if you are doing the same thing in Excel, it's very simple. Use the same formula, except one change in the argument. That's the last argument, guys. So neg binomial dot dist. First, as I said, number of failures. Here we have 3 failures, fewer than 4, right? So 3 failures. Number of successes, again 3. 0.6 probability of success. And finally, to calculate the CDF, guys, in this case, we are calculating the CDF. So here we have to use true. Okay. So true is for CDF. That's cumulative distribution function. And false is for PMF. Okay. I hope this example is clear to you. Thanks for watching till the end. And one request, guys, I am making these kind of videos. It's taking a lot of time first to create such content as well as creating such videos. So I need help from your side. Like the video if you are liking the content, and share with your friends. Make more reachable this kind of content, guys, because I have never seen such kind of content over YouTube or any online course, guys. And if I am wrong, you can mention that particular course or video in my comment section, guys. I'll be happy to respond. Okay. So thanks for watching till the end. As well as if you are new, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out any of such videos, guys. In the next video, we are going to look at another probability distribution from the family of discrete probability distribution, that is geometric distribution, guys. So by that time, take care and keep learning. Thanks.